What's good, everybody? I'm BPC and welcome to Competitive Origins MMA. Well, the long-awaited meeting between Khabib Nurmagomedov and Dana White has finally taken place. The UFC president and the UFC lightweight champion of the world. But prior to the meeting, the UFC president Dana White did come out and say he would be open to Khabib Nurmagomedov facing George St-Pierre. But it comes with a caveat. He would have to relinquish his lightweight championship belt. Now, he said that if Khabib wanted to keep the belt, he could face off against Conor McGregor, who of course has to still get the victory against Dustin Poirier at UFC 257. Now, he also said Charles Oliveira is also another individual that he could potentially face off against. You know, at the end of the day, Dana basically says it doesn't make sense for GSP to face off against Khabib Nurmagomedov for the championship belt, because when they both finish at the end of the night, regardless of who wins, the belt will still be vacated. And if the belt's going to be vacated, you know, that doesn't benefit anybody. It almost seems like the next person to pick up that vacant title is basically going to be a placeholder. Now, like I said in previous videos, you know, it's better if Khabib faces off against another individual and that individual were to beat Khabib Nurmagomedov, so therefore they could be the true undisputed champion, not just a placeholder in people's minds. Now, these two met backstage at a UAE Warriors event, which was actually co-promoted by Eagle FC, which happens to be Khabib Nurmagomedov's, organization for MMA. Now, the 32-year-old, 29-0, number 1 pound-for-pound fighter actually holds records, multiple records in the lightweight division. One being his 13-win streak that he currently holds. You know, he has he's tied for most title defenses at 3, and he's held on to the lightweight championship for longer than anybody in division history. So those are some pretty great accomplishments. But, at the end of the day, when his father passed away, he got really sick training for his last fight against Justin Gaethje, and then he also suffered an injury prior to that fight as well, and he had to power through it. He eventually, succumbed to everything and made the decision to promise his mother that he would retire, and he followed through on that promise by retiring after getting the victory over Justin Gaethje. He said during his retirement, he's going to be able to watch a lot more Competitive Origin MMA videos. Now, if you haven't done so already, make sure you hit that subscribe button and click the notification bell so you can be notified as soon as these videos go live. And do like Khabib and ground and pound the like button on this video. Now, as far as the meeting is concerned, right? We have Charles Oliveira, who Khabib saw the fight with him and Tony Ferguson, and basically he said Charles Oliveira looks good. And then he kind of followed it up by stating that, he wants to be impressed at the end of the day. And he feels that, a Conor McGregor versus Dustin Poirier impressive fighter, somebody that impresses him in that fight could potentially get him warmed up, get him, excited about coming back to the Octagon. But he didn't just stop right there. He said that maybe the winner of Michael Chandler or Dustin Poirier could get him really excited, and that would motivate him to want to get back into the Octagon. So it almost seems like Khabib wants, a buffet of options to choose from. You have Charles Oliveira, you have Conor McGregor, you have Dustin Poirier, you have Michael Chandler, you have Dan the Hangman Hooker. Now, these are all excellent choices at the end of the day, but it's like he already got a chance to see Charles Oliveira fight against, Tony Ferguson, an individual that he was supposed to be matched up with on multiple occasions. And Tony had a dominating fight streak where he was just taking everybody out. And Charles Oliveira, came in there and basically dominated Tony Ferguson. So if that wasn't impressive, I think that was pretty impressive. But, for Khabib to not say he wants to fight Charles Oliveira makes it seem like he wasn't impressed enough. Now, you have Conor McGregor versus Dustin Poirier, and it's like there are some people speculating that Conor McGregor is actually going to use his grappling in this matchup, which would contradict what Conor McGregor has already come out and stated, that he is going to knock out Dustin the Diamond Poirier in under 1 minute. Now, he did knock out Cowboy Cerrone in under a minute, so it is, feasible that he can knock out Dustin Poirier. And in the past, he's already knocked out Dustin Poirier, so it should be no hard feat. And like I said, Conor looks pretty built. He looks stronger. That was in the 145 weight division. Now they're at 155, and Conor looks his biggest he's ever been at 155. So, there could be a knockout, which would be impressive at the end of the day if he were to get Dustin Poirier out in one round. Not many people have been able to beat Dustin Poirier, and to take him out in the first round is extremely, extremely rare, if it's even ever happened, other than, way back in the day. I don't even recall him losing any time recently, With Khabib Nurmagomedov, it took several rounds for Khabib to get the victory. So for Conor to upstage Khabib against Dustin Poirier should be impressive, I think. Now, Michael Chandler, is new to the UFC, and I don't think Khabib Nurmagomedov really gives him much props at the end of the day. And if he were to get a victory over Dan the Hangman Hooker, well, Dan is ranked number 6, so he beat number 6. What does that really say? What does that really prove? So I don't think really Michael Chandler has a chance, regardless of how impressive his fight is against Dan the Hangman Hooker. Now, Dan the Hangman Hooker lost against Dustin Poirier in his last fight, so that seems kind of odd that, Dan Hooker gets a victory over Michael Chandler and gets a title shot, but Dustin Poirier gets a victory over Dan Hooker and he doesn't get a title shot. It just seems really odd to me at the end of the day. It just seems like at the end of the day, everything is lining up for a Conor McGregor, Khabib Nurmagomedov fight. That's just basically how I see it, guys. Go into the comment section below and let me know who do you think will end up fighting Khabib Nurmagomedov. Do you think it's going to be GSP, in which he will have to relinquish his belt? Do you think it will be against Conor McGregor or Dustin Poirier, Michael Chandler, Dan the Hangman Hooker, or possibly Charles Oliveira? These are all great options. I want to know who you think he's going to match up with, and who do you think is going to win the fight between the two individuals that you are selecting. Now, go to competitiveorigins.com, type in promo code MMA54 so you can get 10% off this Competitive Origins, whatever it takes, t-shirt. Thank you for tuning in today, guys. I'm BPC, and remember, you've been competing since conception, whether you're competing against yourself or others. Competitive Origins.